Love, blessings, peace, and prosperity, divine, beautiful soul. What is good in your world? It's me, Nicole P, your spiritual barista, serving up with some guidance and inspiration from the cards. What I have for you, my love, it's an energy reading for this week ahead. I am using the Goddess Tarot deck, and I'm going to pull some cards from the one and only Everyday Witch Oracle. I've had this deck for some time. It's been on my shelf for a while and then in a box because I moved, and I just thought, it's cute, it's tender, it's not one of my favorites, but I think it's got some gems of wisdom in there. So let's see what the Everyday Witch Oracle deck has in store. I think it's going to be, this is going to be one of those that I'm going to end up giving away. And, did you ever have that where you get a deck and you like it, but it's still just like no matter what, it just doesn't flow? You know what I love to do with those? Number one, I have a couple decks that, well, previously, when I'm going to pick it up again, but I used to make perfume oil. So I would take a card and pull a card and put it in the package of the perfume oils for my customers. And so I may do that with this one as well. But I think what I'm going to do, which I've done with other decks, when I've outgrown them or they just don't speak to me anymore, I put them in the little free library and hope that somebody who's wanting a deck comes across it. So maybe that will be one of those in my local little library, neighborhood library things. What are they called? The little library trees that are just randomly throughout the neighborhood. I think that this one's going to go in there pretty soon, probably in the springtime. So Everyday Witch Oracle. I think there's another one. I think maybe the Witch Tarot is good too, but it's cute. I think I gotta just maybe reacquaint myself with it, and maybe not. Maybe it's meant for somebody else. Okay, so this is like a timeless tarot, my love. So no matter what time of the year that you come across this video, if you come across this video, then it is meant for you. And you take what flows and you leave what does not. I am recording this on February 15th. It is cold and snowy here in the Midwest. And let's get into this. Oh, Spirit, what messages would you like to come through? All right, my love. Let me split this deck one more time. I almost called it a deck. I almost said, let me split this deck one more time. I always do that. Sometimes I replace the E with the I. Freudian slip, probably. Hey. Okay, ready? Let me pull it together for a second. Let me get a sip of my tecito. Okay. What do we got? Ooh, sacrifice. Starting the energy reading out with sacrifice, my love. When you have a vision and you are very committed and dedicated to your vision, there are going to be times that you have to say no to things. And you want to say yes. However, you're playing the long game. Now, it doesn't mean that the sacrifices you make now, you'll have to always make them. Sometimes, especially if you are just like, I am launching this podcast, I'm starting this business, I'm starting this blog, I'm going to write a book, I'm going to become stronger, leaner, tougher, I'm going to learn how to play the piano, whatever it may be. At times when one is committed to that vision, the transmutation, that transformation, the launch of something, you have to put some things aside. You have to sacrifice in the present to have more in the future. And it just is what it is. And the thing is when you really love something, no matter how much you might be like, oh, boo-hoo, I don't want to sacrifice this. I don't want to say no. I really want to say yes, but I'm going to have to say no. And you have an angst. You're like bummed, but you're so committed to your vision that it happens with ease. Now, the thing is, if you end up being super resentful, that's information for you. So then you might say, maybe this transformation, maybe this launch, maybe this particular hobby or whatever it may be, maybe that's just not what is right for me at this time. So pay attention to how you react and how you feel when it comes time to sacrifice in some way, shape, or form in the spirit of your vision, in the spirit of your goal, of your dream, of your manifestation. So think about that. So in this week ahead, there's going to be some times where your spirit will challenge you and test you. That's just the way it goes. I don't understand it. But sometimes when you're on the path and you're like, this is my path and this is how I'm going to be, when you're on that path, Spirit's going to all of a sudden throw you something and be like, are you sure? Are you sure? It's like a test, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, because we always have agency. We always have choice how we're going to respond, how we are going to be in our intentions, our spirituality, what we're bringing into form in life. We always have a choice. So pay close attention to how Spirit's talking to you by putting things into your path. Because just because something's offered to you doesn't mean you have to take it. So sacrifice is a theme for you this week. Sacrifice. Another thing for you this week is the Queen of Swords. Ooh, very interesting. Along the same lines of sacrifice is the energy of boundaries, is the energy of speaking your truths and also putting it out to the universe. This is who I am. This is what I stand for. This is what I want. And this is where I'm going. The Queen of Swords is unapologetically telling folks how it's going to be. And when you start speaking that to others, to the universe, sometimes it may be scary at first, right? If you're not used to standing up for what it is that you believe and really claiming those bold, bodacious manifestations and intentions, your voice might shake just a little bit. But it starts with proclaiming this and setting those boundaries where you have agency to and stating who you are, what you want to bring forth. It starts with saying out loud to Spirit, to the universe, and you practice and you practice and you practice. Having that firm conviction and being able to put out clear, concise boundaries on what you will and will not do, what you will and will not sacrifice, takes time and it takes practice. Your voice may shake, but with more and more time and practice, it will not shake. Or if it does shake, you're able to work with that shakiness. The shakiness will not deter you. It will not distract you. You will just be aware. It's all information. But the Queen of Swords is really set clear boundaries and intentions. Because if you want it, if you proclaim this is what you're working towards, if you proclaim the path, it's going to require you to make some changes. That's the Queen of Swords. Once again, right? Perfectly aligned with that sacrifice card. Let's see what the third card is. And it is, oops, I was read it right the first time. Transformation. I mean, come on. Transformation. So the messages are so powerful on here, right? Sacrifice, the Queen of Swords, and transformation. Now, let me tell you something. This is not going to be easy, and this is not anything that happens overnight. But what the cards are saying, and the message here, is about when you are devoted and dedicated, right? When you have a practice and you commit to your practice. And sure, you're going to slide or slip here and there, but you pick yourself back up. Your setbacks aren't just that bad, right? Not that bad. That's not the word. They're not that detrimental. They don't take you back so far. For example, I have a pretty solid spiritual practice and rituals and the way that I engage with spirit. There's times where I'm off my game, right? There's times that I was like, I don't really feel like doing that. But the thing is that practice and the devotion is so embodied, and I have such a commitment to it that by missing a couple days here and there, it doesn't set me back and where I just all of a sudden don't practice anymore. Do you feel me? So the whole thing is this is part of transformation. Part of really that soul opening, where you're like, I'm living in the light of my truth and on purpose and on point, requires a sacrifice, requires the boundaries, requires a proclamation, and it's part of the transformation. Because without that, this doesn't happen. You have to be willing to open to this, right? And it's not necessarily that you have to it's not like, how do I say that? Sometimes I think that for this deep, like soul transformation and manifesting, there's a myth that the sacrifice is too great. Like it's too great. So, gosh, I just have to like give it all up. I can't do this or I can't do that. So why even try? And that's the way that we self sabotage and we hide out from like the purpose and really pursuing, because there's a fear of failure, fear of being ridiculed, fear of what else could it be? Sometimes fear of success. Sometimes it's scary because you're going to be seen, right? Fear of being seen, and fear of losing money, fear of losing time, and just all of a sudden, too, what happens? It can be really easy to fall into like that lethargic sort of this Bueller type of energy. So, look at that. What a beautiful message. What a beautiful message. Sacrifice, Queen of Swords, and transformation. So this is an affirmation for you. If this is what you've been vibing and flowing and you've been really like, oh, I'm on the path. This is a message that, you know what, you gotta step up your game, right? You gotta step up the game. Like it's like we are continuously evolving and shifting and changing. And sometimes it's not about up in the game. Sometimes it's like being really cool. Just be cool and chill where you at. This message for you, my love, is like, oh no, no. Dream bigger. Reach bigger. Open to more. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be working more hours or it's more this or more that. It's more peace. More joy, more love. So think of it like that. Don't you want more of that in your life? More sa. Let's see the 3 oracle cards for you. All right. Number 1. Make a move. The ball is in your court. Make a move. Earth magic. Rooting into the element of earth, grounding, right? Thinking about planting seeds. In fact, as you open to these messages, right, and are sacrificing the boundaries and open to the transformation, buy a plant. Actually get a new plant, right? Or plant some seeds and see how it grows, and allow that to be a symbol of your earth magic and a symbol of your transformation. So rooting and grounding to the energy of earth. And, oh my love, I can't make this up. Rebirth and reinvention. Rebirth and reinvention. Remember, things may not be easy, but they will come with ease. As you cross this threshold, I swear to you, I promise you, on the other side, so much more peace and love and joy is waiting for you. The ball is in your court to make a move. It's up to you to decide which way you're going to go. The rituals that you put into place, the devotional practices that you honor. And if you miss a day, if you slip up, no big deal. You come right back. Because as I stated earlier, the more that you have a continuous practice, a devotional practice, you slip up here and there, it's not going to like take you out of the game. You get right back up and you keep moving forward. So, my love, looks like you got some big stuff ahead of you. This is your affirmation, all right? You keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing. Don't let anybody distract you. So often other people's opinions are reflections of themselves, not of you. Take everything with a grain of salt. Get your protection in order. That's the other thing with the Queen of Swords. Get your protection in order. Cast your protection spells. Get that salt, that red brick dust around your house, the water underneath your bed. Salt all over the place, right? Burning your rosemary, right? And just envisioning yourself protected and not letting anything come in that doesn't need to be in this space. All right? I raise my tecito to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back with more videos, but I'll be back next week for the energy reading for that week ahead. In the meantime, you can check out the Daily Tarot Brews here. Feel free, if you would like some tarot inspiration on the go, to tune into the Cafecito and Tarot podcast and listen on your platform of choice. Give me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe. Sharing is caring, and I'm honored that you've been hanging out with me today. All right, my love. Mwah. Peace.